Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Think I'm live. Um, yep. 20 pin. I said 20 minutes. 20 minutes late on the stream, but it's good. We're here. I initially didn't want to come on, but I absolutely had to. Today we're taking on a huge tax, and it is something that I'm I'm not sure of, man. Like this is one of those that I might just be modeling in the middle of it. I'm like, okay, my fed up on me, you know. But yeah, we're going to try it out. It's not organic shapes, it's hard surfaces. So I think we have a little bit of an advantage there. This is a garbage truck, and it is one of those that's yeah, it's prominent in Lagos, Nigeria, or maybe Nigeria as a whole. Let me not just circulate it to Lagos. But when I used to stay in Fadi, and when I was there, I would usually see this truck come in and take garbages from house to house, and it was really I won't say it was a marvel in like a wonderful way, but like I just loved the structure of it, the strength of it, the balance of it. Those were just like really fascinating stuffs, man. And I've always knew that someday, one way, one how, I was going to model this, most definitely. And yep, here we are trying to figure out our way around it. This is not like this is not the real reference. Is my screen showing? I don't think so. Let me see. Okay, I think my screen is showing. That's cool. Yeah, I always knew I was going to model it, so I added it as one of those. I think something I removed from my list that I also need to add somewhere. Maybe I'll get back to it later. Is Uyo Stadium. I want to bring in Uyo Stadium. I think this will just be some kind of a video after the fact, and then there were some Nigerian nostalgic items. Nigerian nostalgic items that I wanted to work on. Yeah. I think I removed these two from the list because I knew that they were going to be like really complicated. Yeah. So we are on garbage truck. Last model on our list of 100 models. It's not going to be done today. It is a complicated model to figure out. So I think I'm going to do like a part one, a part two, and maybe even a part three. So I think this is just going to be like block out stage. I'm just getting shapes, getting proportions, and I don't. I'm not really sure how I'm going to move with this because I won't say I want to just go through all the entire modeling and just focus on blockouts alone. No, that wouldn't make sense. I kind of would want to bring in details where I feel like I can quickly bring in without messing up with the flow. So let me just try to maybe I don't know, maybe lock in and see what we can do in time. So right here, I'm going to GZ. I'm going to GZ. I can GZ here a little bit, and I think we have that shape. This one I am going to rearrange so that it lines up with this window right here. So I can GX on that and GX on this a little bit also. So that's cool. Maybe this right here. You see the center loop? I want to SX 0 and I can GX this to the side. Yep. So all of this here, I'm going to dissolve and just bring in one solid one on the side. Pause. That's if the need be. Yep. I think what's going to happen with, let me see. I'm going to take out all of this, delete faces, and then this center, I would, whoa. No, this has to be a separate mesh on its own. P separate, and then this dissolve vertices, flip to the other side. That's cool. Next up, I think I want to add in a loop right here. Again, if you see me look to the side, that's because I'm monitoring the stream and making sure that video and audio is working. So we're going to do something like this, and I can GX to the side a little bit, and maybe this one too. I can move in a little bit. So that's cool. I can take this entire edge and extrude on the Z. Yeah. I think I'm going to focus on just blockouts. Just blockouts. Get the big shapes. GX. This is also, let's say, a little bit of a big shape. So I'm just going to derive it from this body. This is the cis. So this is the entire thing. So I'll duplicate that, separate that selection, and then this right there, I'll copy and then undo that, just that hash line. Basically, I'll do all of that loop cut because I wouldn't want to mess with the entire shape just because of this detail. So for this detail, I think we're going to bring this forward like so. I'll GZ this down a little bit and maybe add a loop cut right here so that we can add a bit more curve to that. That's cool. Right here, I'll add a cut. I'll add a cut right here and maybe a cut on this side. So this face can be eliminated. I think I'll come to the front view and see what that looks like. So in the front view, we also kind of have a shape that goes in a little bit. So we're going to how am I going to do this? I feel like I do not want to overcommit, so it's just going to be block out, and when it's time to add more detail, I just go in and add detail. So I'm going to leave this as is, and something I'm going to get back to. Then right here, I'm thinking, I think I'm going to steal vertices from this. Shift DZ. Yeah. P to separate that selection. GZ. 1 second, please. I want to see, did City lose their game? I know that Arsenal has gotten the league, but I want to see if City lost. City didn't lose their game. But I think the difference is already like 3 points. Yeah? How can I see the table? How can I see the table? Yep, the difference already is, in fact, it's 4 points. So, yep, that's done. That league is done. So right here, I would GZ downward a little bit, GX. I can EX. And this, for this one, I want to add a little bit of a variation because right here, I want to add in this point, which I can select this edge, go to the side view, and Y on that. So I can select all of that on the side and EX. I'll come to this view. On the top view, I'll GG this a little bit so that I can select both, come to the front view and EY. So we'd see that it's not, you can see that it's not really at the exact same spot, and that's because I kind of had issues with getting the right reference, but I think with this we can just kind of work with it. So this reference was generated using AI basically. So I'm going to take this, duplicate, move on the Z, and P to separate that selection. This one I would extrude forward a little bit. Maybe not forward. Let me see. Maybe not forward. So on this side, I will come here and extrude it outward like so. As a matter of fact, maybe the whole thing. Extrude like so. Come to the top view. G, X. And then this entire thing on the side, I can drop on the Z just like so. So I can select this entire loop. Yeah, go to the front view and I can EY just like so. So all of these are just block outs, like I said. Still going to come back to refine stuff. Is this thing still streaming? I beg you. I think it's still streaming. SY. Okay. Next up, we're going to be still in a combination of these two. So we're going to take edge from here, edge from here, edge from here, Shift D, separate that selection. You know what? I'll hide this, take this, and I'll join those into one. So I can unhide that. So this one, I'm going to make sure I clean up the mesh, make sure things connect in the right way. And I think the right way for this to connect is meeting this one at last right here. So we have this entire thing. I'm going to come to the side, and with this, I can EX, and I think the next thing to do is Alt S because it is not on the same level with this. Yeah. So I can Alt S this, invert that selection and delete. So this is like an inner shape. So we have that. Let me see. We have that. I think I could just have an extrusion on this actually. So the whole deleting of the former one was just like, meh, there was no need for that. So I can take this vertices from here, borrow this, and GX. What I want to do with this is form this shape right here. And I'm looking at it here. I do not exactly think I want to use a different shape to form this, So I think I want to pick from existing one. That's this. Shift D that because it has to kind of be on the same exact line. So right here, I'm going to extrude to this point. I'll extrude this outward, extrude, and we're just going to go carefully across like this. I wish there was a faster way to do this. And I mean, if you're here, this is going to be a long day one, and I won't be able to finish this entire model in one day. So there's going to be part 1, part 2, part 3, however long it takes. I mean, I've come this far, so I really want to make sure it ends with a bang. What's happening here? There's a weird join in here, so I think that's cool. So this I can feel. So this is the tire area. I'm looking at it now. I think it's going to be a little bit extruded. Like looking at it, it's going to be a little bit extruded, and there's a continuation on this side, which I'm going to borrow from this to make that continuation. Where is it? Okay. So I'm going to rotate this, bring this here, rotate. And this is going to this is going to just be an extrusion, scale down, extrusion, rotate, scale down, and extrusion like so. So that's cool. Right here, I'll delete these vertices and I'll select all of that. X, Y, 0. Make that flat, and I think next up I want to do is extrude this out, and then I think inner here is like a deleted face basically. And then right here I will shift D on that and use that to, there's this rug plate. It's not rug, that's definitely a rug. It has a name, but I don't know what it is. Used to block mod from getting to the engines basically. So I'm going to G, bring this around here, scale up GC. So that's a good addition. I think I'm going to add a thickness to it so it doesn't just get lost in the entire comp. So I think I want to bring in a tire. Next up, I'll bring in a tire, which is just going to be a cylinder, actually. So for the cylinder, I'm also going to rotate this to view. I see some people in the chat. I see Daniel, the regular people. I see Tomato in the chat too. Shout out you guys, shout out you guys, shout out you guys. Thank you so much for turning up. Yeah, Daniel. Tomato, how you doing? Yeah. We are on our last leg of this. But again, I don't know if you guys heard, this is going to be like a 3-part modeling thing. I'm going to get through the first part just with you guys, and then tomorrow we'll get on to, I think I'll do blockouts today. I have to finish blockouts today actually. So I'm just going to make sure blockouts is done. Tomorrow we're adding details to this thing and let's see how far we can push it, man. Inner here, there is something. I can't make out what it is, but there's something in there. So I think in order to simulate that, I want to, oh my God. I want to bring in a plane. First of all, I'll G move this to this spot, scale this like so. And then around here, I can SY and GY a little bit. So what this is going to do is just form that shape in there, because I want to be able to bring in the staircase without having to not actually think too much about it, but without having to bother about like what could be behind, you know. So this is just going to this can be intersecting with the tire though. Even this has to be extruded inward. So you see this entire shape, I'm going to isolate it, this entire thing right here. I'm going to go all the way in like so, right? So all this here, including this face, and then, okay, no, this face is not included. They're going to be out. Yeah, that's cool. So this one, I don't think this one is inside actually, but it looks like it's inside. You know what? I'm going to take the artistic liberty to do this like this, like GX. and just fit all of this in here, right? So we still have that blockage, and we can still bring in the steps, because the steps is what makes it easy for you to climb the truck, basically. Can you make a camera? Like, I don't understand. What do you mean? Can I add a camera to the scene, or can I model a camera? Tomato, please clarify that. Let me know what you're talking about. And I mean, right now, this stream, this what do you call it? This live stream is over. I don't think I have any other slots to model anything. So I really hope is how to add camera to the scene. But I think you already know how to add camera, man. Like, you're rendering stuff, so adding camera in Blender shouldn't. It's not anything for you. Shift DZ. All right, that's cool. Um. So this chassis area, I don't know, man. I'm not sure about this chassis area, but I'm going to do something like this first of all. I'm going to bring in a cube, scale that down. As a matter of fact, reset that to the center, bring in a cube, scale that down. Let me look for. I'm looking for the chassis actually. Chassis of a truck. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to look for like a chassis concept that would fit that truck. I don't know. I should be able to find the name of that truck. I don't know if I want to open my ChatGPT right now. I should be able to find the name of that truck, because what happened with this is that the the truck itself has a different manufacturer from. That's the chassis itself has a different manufacturer from the rear of the truck. So what the rear manufacturer does is tailor whatever they have to the chassis so that they just fit like a hand in glove. Okay, yeah, I think I see it here. This is what I'm going to say. There's some references here that are nice actually. You know what? We're gonna take some references from here. Ooh, what's going on? That's weird. Mm-mm. 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 Hmm. 1 second, guys. I just want to make sure I look for something that shows the inside of that. Okay, I think I can get the name of the vehicle. This is it. Let me see. Okay, I think this is close to what I'm looking. No, this is more advanced. This is more advanced. Oh God. Is this it? Is that it? Let me see. I think this is it actually. But I need an image. Can this even work? Yeah, I think this can work. Just like a long stretch of bed for that huge rectangular structure to sit on. Yeah, I can even see it from top view here. Okay. Let me do it like this. I would have this reference copied to PureRef. And then I think I also want to have this. This look like an A. Oh, it's not a clay image. I thought it was going to be a clay image. Let me see. I'm still going to copy this into the PureRef file. All right. So let's get down to. Let me see this first of all before I get down to modeling. All right, let's get back to modeling. So my PureRef, I'm going to pin it to Blender. And then we can go on. I mean modeling camera. I mean not on the stream, but in like another video. Yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely I can do that. Camera is one of those that like you could look at it as something that is easy, but man, when you start, it could shock you, bro. So GZ, I'm going to go to the top view. I'm going to GX this to this side, and I can SX GY like so. And what I'm looking at is I think I'm going to isolate this. Now that we have the entire length, I want to just create something that looks like it. So right here, I'm going to extrude along normals, but apply scale first of all, and then extrude along normals. So that's cool at that point. And then from the top view, I'm going to add a loop right here. All right. Yeah, loop right here. And then this loop, I'm going to bevel. So what that's going to allow me to do is delete these faces. Yep. So we have first steps done. I want to select this. Yeah. Fill. 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 Okay. I think I'm also going to fill this side. So fill. It really looks like I want to model this entire like chassis right now, but I don't think I'm going to. Let me just go on to to blocking out the rest of the stuff, because right now I kind of feel like I just want to go through modeling the chassis and forget about that. So I'm going to dissolve edge. These faces I would insert and extrude inward. So that's going to mirror to the other side. So right here is going to be something like this. Faces selected, inserted, and then extruded inward. No. SY0. Then bevel, and I'm already getting into too much detail, so I'm just going to leave this here and move on to other things. I'll get back to modeling this at a later time. So the next thing I want to bring in this block out is there's just a standing cube here, like right here. Let's see. A little bit behind that, there is some kind of a cylinder, a rod. So I'm going to R90, scale down G, scale SSSX, GX, and oh, I need to bring this forward. Let me see. I think I can see it clearer. So this is not just a random, it's not a random thing. It looks like it's holding something up, like a structure. So this is like this. I'm going to shift DX, rotate by 90, rotate by 90, SZ, GZ, just like so. That's cool. I can, okay, so I think I'm going to isolate this, and on this I'm going to use the share tool. What angle is this? To do the opposite angle, adjust to 1. Yep. So with this I can EY SX, SY 0. So that's cool. I can select this entire part and bevel, but I need to shift N to recalculate normals. What? Merge by distance, recalculate normals. So with this I can, oh, why can't I bevel? What's this? What's going on? Delete, select all and merge by distance, select this and EY SY 0. So so where were you doing Shakara before? So this can be curved up, and in the reference, in what I'm seeing here, it appears twice actually. So I can shift the X. This box very visible right here. So I would put this in its place. SX. I think this is going to be in front of all of this stuff. So this goes back. No, it's on the same line with this, and then this SY. This goes back in a little bit. GY. So that's done. What's next? Okay, this chassis needs to come up. This chassis needs to be around up here. Okay. Next up, I'm going to do this base. Should the chassis be down? Wait, let me see. Apart from this chassis down here, there's something else going on in this top space that I need to figure out. I don't know what that is, but that needs to be figured out too. Oh my god. So I'm going to bring cursor to this point, and then I'm going to bring in a cube. No, not even a cube. I'm going to bring a plane. Plane I'm going to turn into view. G. Put this around here. Rotate, scale down. G in position, and then I can just extrude stuffs. And this I can EX, SX 0, SX, what? GY. That's cool. Right here I can GC. Can shift the X on this, shift the X on this. So what this is going to help me with is GY into space and just extrude this inward. So remember, we're just blocking out stuffs and okay. Just 1 second, guys. I will be with you guys shortly. One second, guys. I'm still here. All right. Um, let's continue our blockouts. I think next up, there's going to be a little bit of an extension of this. So I don't want to mess up with this base shape up here. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to derive from this one, actually. Then I'll replace the shape a bit later. Shift D, P to separate that selection. Select this, dissolve edge. Extrude this. I can G to this point, G to this point. So that's cool. That's nice. So right now it's just all about copying certain vertices now and trying to figure out the shape, because this part is kind of the most complicated, and that's the part that I'm a little bit concerned about because it's complicated really. So I'm going to extrude this out a little bit. I'll make a cut here and make another cut here. So this entire face is going to be cut off. Yep. So what happens next? Is it back? Okay, it's back. So right here, cursor comes to this point, right? We'll bring in the plane, switch plane to view, just so. I can rotate that G and then move this point out here. Looking at this, I think I'll need more than 3 streams. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll need more than 3 streams to make this work. So delete face. I think that's good. The only thing is that it needs to go in a little bit like GY. So I think right here, I need to bring cursor to this point, bring in a cube, scale that cube down a Z, rotate that into position like so, and scale. And here, nope, I can extrude this, select this whole face. Maybe this I'll just GY to this point. Then I'm going to select this whole face like so. And not that whole face, just this one up here. And I can extrude that. So again, we're just building this bit by bit. There's no, they need a carry face for this one. We're just going bit by bit. So I'm going to separate the selection. So I don't even think this should go all the way through, yeah? Extrude. This OG. This OG to this point. Yeah. So I can have a different extrusion on this one. G. And then G right here. So all these fixtures I'm doing on this side, I'm going to select everything. Especially, in fact, not everything. The ones that stretches up to the other side, I'm going to have to cut all of that. Like, cut it down. So on the side, SX or SY 0, GY. It looks like this, all of these things needs to be wider than, oh my god. So this is what the lack of original reference now is costing me, because now I need to price scale things more than they should. For example, this looks like from the back view it's just incorrect. So I'm going to SY, make this fatter. Yep. So I've caught this 3. I'm going to select all of this. Why is my voice now longer sounding? Hope stream is still up. Okay, stream is still up. That's cool. So I'm just going to go in and just fill each, fill. I think this, I'm just going to fill, and maybe fill again. And then same is going to apply to this. Fill, and then I'll fill. That's good. On the side view, we're going to continue with the whole block out. I think this whole shape like this would be one block out, and then the inner division would be a different block out. And then I'll just put maybe a little bit more of the second read. All these really tiny reads down here, I'll not put it right now. So I'm going to come in here, select this, vertex, Shift D, separate that selection. And I can EX, right, GX, can extrude down here, extrude again, extrude all the way to the top, and extrude right here. So all of this, I'm going to select all and fill that face here. But I want to add in this fill. Okay. So all of this, I'm just going to GY because this goes in a little more than the others. So I'm going to select and then I can insert. But if I do that, I'm going to apply scale actually. Join. Delete edge. Join. A. Insert. Right here. I'm going to insert again. And with this, I will extrude inward. Select extrude on the Y. So GY. I'm going to bring this in a bit more. Come to the side. And then I'll bring in a cube. So what the cube is going to help me do is just plot out these shapes. SX, GX, GX. That's cool. So I can GY this to the side. SY, make that smaller. Yeah, that needs to be smaller actually. So I can shift D, Z, SX, shift D, move this to this point, SX, shift D to this point, rotate, SX twice, and that's good. So I need to duplicate this and create another one, SX twice, GX twice. That's fire. I'm looking at right here. This might be a different object, but I just want to just place this here. So that's cool. The only thing that I need to do is maybe GY this a little bit so that we don't have that shaky, like for example this. And this is happening because they are on the exact same points in the space. So this is cool. I'm going to bring in these cylinders to show this piston. So I'm going to bring in a cylinder here, rotate, bring it into space, scale down, S, X, X, no, oh, ZZ. So I can rotate this, G into place, scale down, S, and G, bring this down. So we have that. I can GY, bring this forward. I can GY again because whatever inserts an extrusion I want to do right here needs to go behind this. Yeah. It needs to go behind that. And then on this side, there's a little more stuff that's going on here. So I'm just going to stop at this point for this part of the model. I think here would need to have an extension. Like it needs to come down a bit more. So that's something I need to think about when working on this at a later time. I think the back too is something of a particular concern, and that is because it is very complicated too. Very, very complicated. So you know what? All of these references, I'm just going to pin them like so. I'll move them to another collection called ref. Oh, I can't move them now that they're deselected, but I think the next thing I want to do is kind of look at the back a little bit, have a feel for what's going to be happening there, you know. For the back, for the back, for the back, for the back. I don't know if this back is right. Like the way this back is, it seems like it is not perfect rectangles. Let me look for references and see. Back view. Looking at the reference, it seems to be just perfectly straight. I'm not seeing any bend, any curve, none of that. Let me just look for a garbage stroke generally. Just garbage strokes. Back view. Bro, like this is what we're looking at here. So I think that thing needs to be straight. Yeah, this is the example of like an heavy duty one here in Lagos. Yeah. We're going with straight, not bent. We have gone too far to start making these changes, but we're gonna go on. Um, so what I'm thinking, I think whatever it is that we're going to build around the back is going to feed off this plane right here. So I'm going to separate that, select this, move this, delete this face, delete this face, and select all of that and just scale on the X like so. All right. So this part of the truck, yeah, I'm going to apply scale. I'm going to insert. I'm going to extrude on the X. Right. So what's going to help solidify that now is maybe a little extrusion from this, and we have that inner compartment looking the way it should for now. So there needs to be two lights here. I'll leave that for later. This inner part is going to be very, very confusing. So we're thinking of something like this. Cube scaled down. SX. SX scale down SZ. All right. So I can GZ on this a little bit SY. Then SX. I'll come to the side and I'll rotate this and SZ twice. So I can GX. SY. Okay. I'm going to bring cursor to this point because everything I'm going to be bringing in is going to originate from that point. So something that I see in the reference right, I don't know why I can't see this reference, but could it be that it's on low opacity? Yeah, bring all of that up. No low opacity. Yeah, I can't even see the reference and I'm going on low opacity. The the audacity. Okay. So this SY. Man. Okay, so this I'll bevel just for it to appear twice. I'll bring this up to say around this point, bring this up to say around this point, select both and then bevel. So we have that. I can select this, select, and then extrude out. Maybe a little more. And you know what? I think this thing is not even long enough. So let's do SZZ twice and just make that way longer. All right, that's cool. So these compartments, we want to slide this down a little bit. Yep. So all of this extruded out. I think this outer part also should have that treatment. So you know what? I'm going to leave that mirror modifier alive. Extrude. And there would be, no, this one would be a longer extrude actually. And there will be a longer extrusion down here. Or maybe not a longer extrusion, but an extrusion that is at par, but a bigger one. Pause. Extrude. That's cool. Next up is this thing right here. So I'll bring cursor to this point. I'll bring in, let's do a cube actually. So we can GZ, SY, scale, GZ, and this point, GX, GX. Bevel. GZ. So I can take this edge, apply scale, and bevel that like so. So that's cool. I can SY. Shade smooth. I'll bring this here. Bevel, and I'll just is there where I can, okay, no, do I have to delete the surface in order to, oh, that's sad. SY. I think this size, around this size is good. Let me see where this, just imagine, see where it's hanging. Oh my god. So I'm just going to G Y, and on this side, oh no, I'll leave it up there. I'll leave it up there actually. So right here, I'll bevel, delete those faces, select this and fill, select this, fill. So that's nice. Next up, I can, let's say I can bring this to this point and right click, shader to smooth. I'll bring in a cylinder, scale. Is this model too small? Yeah, I think this model is too small actually. Oh my god. But bringing in that cylinder, I expected it to like be the same size as a truck or even smaller. But that's the size of a human. So I think I'm going to scale this with the reference be higher. like so. So when I bring in a cube, I expect it to be around this height. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, maybe a little bit out of scale compared to humans. So I'm going to take it and bring it all down. So that's nice. I'm going to hide all of this and let's go and continue with the back. Pause. So I can bring this down, scale R, is it Y or RX 90? Right. And then I can SY, scale SY, GY a little bit on the side. So that's cool. There's also some kind of this, I'll bring it down a little. There's also some kind of a cylinder too, that's Shift D. I'll rotate this by 90 and come to the side and rotate it in a little more. So I'm going to GX this and maybe even make it fatter. Like so. Cool. Right? No. I want to make it smaller. SZZ. And then I'll put this here. And then right here and extrude along the mouse. So that's cool. Anything else? I think there's a little bit of a covering on the side. So for the covering, I want to make an extrusion from here. I just want to bring in a whole new. I think I'm just going to make a whole new mesh. So on this side, I will extrude and G to just lean. Is it leaning forward or leaning back? I think it's leaning back actually. Yeah, it's leaning back. And the reason it's leaning back, that's GX, is because this right here is going to serve a little more than just containing that. I think 1, 2, 3. Can I select this? GY, fill. So this is how this part is going to be operating, basically. See here, that's this flat side right here. Next up, I'm going to do a little bit of the bumper. I think bumper is like cube into this, no, not cube into the scene. GZ, scale that down, SY. OG Network One, thank you. You said this is nice, and that is not a familiar channel or subscriber here on the live stream. And something that we usually do is go in and check if the person is like a 3D artist or Blender user, basically. Are you guys still hearing me? Let me see. Hello, hello. Okay, I still have audio, so we're just gonna check. No, not this one. All the elders bow. Okay. They got before the land. Okay. The elders bow. They got before the land. Okay. Yo, this needs to be mute. Okay. We have a Blender user right here. Yeah. Shout out to OG Networks. Let's see. OG Network is a creative educational channel where learning meets animation. We break down tech concepts, programming, sciences, digital skill using clear explanation, engaging visuals, animated storytelling to make learning simple and enjoyable. Whether you're a student, beginner, or curious mind, this channel helps you understand complex ideas this easy way. What you will find here: animated, educational videos, tech and programming explanation, digital skills and tutorials, creative learning content. Subscribe and learn smarter, not harder. Ooh, you're Nigerian. I see you here. I hear here. Shout out to you. 30 videos on the channel, 52 subscribers. Book modeling. That's good. Let me see. Let me just look at one of the videos. I think which one is actually getting my attention now? I think one of them has to be the book modeling because you might see a book as something that is just easy and straightforward, but bro. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Oh, from where to where? Okay. Yep. Very basic elementary modeling right there. And I see that you're just going for simple stuffs. And maybe a strategy or your style, but yeah, shout out to you for grinding. It's not easy to grind, man. It's crazy. But yeah, it's all good. I'm going to go on to the next piece that is kind of the back feature. I don't know I'm going to call it, but like this back detail right here. So we have this, I think all of this. Yeah. I'm going to GX. And then this I am okay, that's going to be all of that. And then I'm going to bring in another cube. I love the cube, man. Cube is so versatile and I feel like it's literally 90% of, or maybe it's 5% of like the world's visuals. Is that SY. So right here I'll bring in cube, scale down, SY, SZ, GZ, SZ, GZ, SY, GY, like so. SY. That's cool. For this, I would GX, bring this forward a little bit. And I'm looking at this now. I don't think this should be a cube, actually. I don't think this should be a cube. So I'm going to apply scale, select all of those edges, and then I'll bevel that, make that round. Merge by distance, that's cool. Right click, shader to smooth. Scale this down. So with this now, you can scale a Z and then make this look like it's a part of the cylinder and make it look like the main cylinder is supporting this one. So it's going to be something like this, and then I'll put in a loop right here, bevel, Okay, I'm seeing something right now. I'm going to add a couple of loops right here. Mirror that to the other side. I'm going to select this loop. I select that. Select this loop, and with proportional distance selected, I'm going to scale this edge on the Y, not on the X. So that's cool. With this done, I'm going to delete all of those face. I think there's a double vertex right here. Delete all of those face, and I can just fill in. Fill this shape. Fill this shape. So right here, I'll bring in a cylinder. I'm going to rotate by 90, scale that down, GY, SY. All right. So we have that. I can select both and just shade auto smooth. With this, I think you can easily mirror this to the other side, but then this is second structure on here that is a bit shorter, more. I think what I'm going to do is shift the Y rather, and then try to modify this to fit that on a feeling level. I'm not trying to modify it to be exactly the same. It's just on a vibe feeling level. So you're just seeing it there and just, thinking it's a real detail. Meanwhile, it's like not. Dissolve edge, GZ. Yep. With this two, I can GY or X rather. So that's cool. Yeah. So we have those. Next up, I'm going to do this base. So what happens is, I think they'll usually stand here to get the garbages. So I'm going to bring in a cube, scale down, SY, GZ, SY. Right? So I can SX, GX. And then right here, I can extrude this upward, just like so. So what's going to make this look formidable, like it can stand on its own, is I'm connecting this right here. So for this, I'll bring cursor to this point. And then what's this connection? Is this, I don't think it's, is it hanging? It looks like it is actually. Or if it's hanging, it can easily swing. So I think the attachment is going to be a cube. So I can shift D, Z, scale that down, SC, GZ a little bit. And, no. I'm going to bring in a cube to that point. Scale down. You know what? Cursor to selected. Scale down. SZ, GZ all the way down. I can SZ a little bit and GZ. So this part, I can just add in a cube. Extrude this forward. So you see all of this is too far in. So I'm going to bring this forward like so. So that's cool. Right here, I can easily mirror this to the other side. And then for this, probably the same thing, but shift DY. GZ. All right. That's for the back. Yeah, I think for the most part, blockouts. No, this thing is too long. This thing is too long. Oh, please. GG. You know what? I'm just going to put a loop down here. I think right there is good. Delete face. No, delete vertices. And then fill face. That's cool. Yeah, I still feel like I have a little more energy to go. This is about an hour, 16 minutes. So I'm just going to start adding more details to this. Somewhere in these that I don't think my reference captures is inside here. Like what's going on inside here, I'm not really sure. Like back here is weird. I need to look for a reference that shows what's going on back there. Or maybe I kind of copy this one. Yeah, I don't mind that. One second, please. Still with you, just a second. And we are back. So yeah, detail time. But I'm still concerned about, like, just look at this. You know what? I think I can see inside of this. So yeah, I'm going to use inside of this to create mine. So first off, we're going to do this back. Yep. So this back, I thought I deleted this. I'll dissolve this edge and I'm going to add this here and maybe use a shear tool to bend this like so. So for this, I will add this around here, add more loops. You know what? I'm going to add one right here, and then I should be able to add to the center of this. So I'm going to add a loop up top and down here. So all of these faces, SX0, GX, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So with that, can extrude this. What's this? I think this I can SY. Trying this one again. Delete face. Oh, okay. I think I know what's going on. You know what? I'm going to isolate you and delete vertices. So with that, I can create those details of the truck. First of all, share this. Put this right here. Bring this here. Add this. Bevel. Can bring in a loop up, a loop down, and right here SX0GX, and this is done, and I can extrude like so. So this I can SY a little bit so it's hidden. This is cool. I like this actually. And on the side we'll see that there are some minute details on this. For example, this panel line going in here and this. So what I'm going to do is on this side I would mirror to the other side, yeah, and then I can take this part, yeah, this part. One, two, three, and then okay, that I think is done. I would consider it done actually. Maybe what I want to do is add a bevel, just small bevel. Alrighty. Okay. And next up, the head, which I think is going to be problematic, which is also as expected. GX. Should I GX or work with sub D? Which one? Which one? Which one? So I'm going to try both. Let's see sub D. Let's see. So this is sub D, and we're not getting the round off, especially on this side, as much as we want. What I can do is GG, separate this, and GG, spread this out. So with that, I think we have the curvature, but on this one we don't. So I'm just going to do the same, like so. So right now, I think we have enough loops to knock out windows, but I think I need one on this, one on this. So you see this face, can take it out. This face can be taken out. I'm going to put a holding loop here, holding loop here, holding here, holding here. I want to take this vertex and GG to the side a little bit. So there's going to be holding and then holding. So we have the windows carved out. However, our truck topology is not looking smooth. And part of the reason why is something like this. I'm just going to leave this further behind. And I'm going to add another loop right here. And the reason why I'm adding this loop is to be able to cut out this glass. These parts, I'm going to GY just to make sure we achieve that curve. And then faces is gone. So that's cute. Next stop, we see some lines right here. Like these are a couple of details. I'm going to SZ 0, and then I'm going to start thinking of how I'm going to share that. Yeah, like so. GZ. So that's cool. I can SZ, GZ, and then do another one right here. Share Y. Let me see. So it's like a threefold kind of thing. Then we're sharing on the Y. Okay, so what's going on in this part? It's like GY, like so. So the only thing is that I'm going to have to make this edge sharper. And it stops. Does it stop at the door? No, not really. It doesn't. Continues. Does it continue to the front? Let me see. I think it does. No, it doesn't. It sucks into this. No, it doesn't. So, yeah, this part I can just GY inward. Make all of those sharper. And let's see what that looks like. Nope, it's not giving. And I don't want to like bevel it. This work, but doesn't make sense to do that. You know what? Should I come back to this detail or do it right now? Bevel. Hmm. Okay. I'm not mad at that actually. But is it too much? I feel like it's too much. So this whole insert here, I'm going to GY. Okay. That's cool. Next up, I don't want to do this cut line right now. Um, I'm going to use a knife tool to run through this like so. I'm going to add in a loop right here and then J to connect that. I think I'm going to G to connect this and then nope, put a subdivision here where this would be able to connect with this, and we have this loop wrap around the tire, but this one too has to, I have to use a knife tool to cut this to this end too. Yep. GG. G all the way to, I think this point is good. G to this point, G to this point, G to this point. So that's fire. I'm going to select this. Yeah. I'm going to bring this a bit close. And then this on this view, let me see how it's working under the, I'm going to extrude along the mouse. But I don't think this is working properly, so I'm just going to turn off sub D and then extrude along the mouse again. So I would first of all apply scale and then do it again. As a matter of fact, this loop right here, I don't know what this is good for, but I'm going to dissolve. No, I'm not dissolving that. I think I should dissolve this instead, but it might be useful. Okay, it's not though. Wow. Hmm. That means I've messed up the echo effect that was going on here. Let me bring that back actually. Oh no. Just off edge. And what am I trying to do? Oh, I need to bring that back because that's what I need to be able to create this shape. Extrude along the mouse. 1, 2. Yeah. So this and this. Oh no. I think this. Delete faces. Um, we can bring this in, and oh my god, I think something I should have done is select this to be able to offset. Oh no, I'm going back because I kind of want to localize this detail. So if I do any of that, maybe I can even select boundary loops. Let me see. Right, bevel that. Then I can select this whole loop, select this and delete faces, bring back that, and then I think this flow goes all the way, but it goes another way. So I'm going to use knife tool to redirect this flow to terminate here. So what this is going to allow me to do now is create another joint on here, and we can remove this edge, and we have redirected our flow, so we can create a hole in here that settles that. There's something weird going on here, so let me see. Can turn off sub D. Okay, I think this face has to go, so I can just remove this vertex and let's see. So it's better shaded to smooth. Looking at it, I feel like I'm going to need more than one sub D. I'm going to need like 2, but let me just use 1 for the meantime. Next up, there's a space for handle. There's some kind of a panel line that runs in here. So you see this panel line, I'm just going to create a path that will enable me to select that line and then be able to select that edge, and then I'll be able to bevel and then create an extrusion in that part, just to simulate like there's a door there. So this first off, I'll select this, put it on the line. This, I think, this I'm going to move to the line. This right here, I'm not going to move to the line, bro. Can I add another loop? I think I can. This can be on the line, on the line, on a straight line, on a straight line. Okay. What's going on? Oh, okay, because there were like more than one vertex here. So I can just select the whole thing and move. And move. Okay. Nice. This our GX. So that's cool. Now I'm looking at this. I think I'm gonna have to move some of this a little bit out of the way so that this can be like a straight line. So with this, I should be able to select both. And then select this entire loop. Here, I'm just going to use a knife tool to double that. I think this is going to be its stream actually. This face, I am going to Alt S it. right? So with the Alt S, we need to hold off those. Like right here, I think we already have loop on this side. So right here, I'll select this loop and select this loop, and then can just sharpen those edges. I'm not sure I particularly like this, but let me see. Can I merge at center? What about this? Then if I made a center, can I kind of GG to move this closer? All right. I think I'm messing with this right now. Still on the front of the truck. Right here. If this detail is going to cause a problem to my mesh, I am not going to add it. So the detail I'm talking about is this right here. Let me see if this will cause any problem. Okay, I think this is fine. Talking about this right here. Like creating a cut down to this point, down to this, and then this. Like it's already posing a lot of problems. Merge at last. Can remove this edge. So how this is going to work is, I think in order for this to work, I need to add this join, and then maybe another one for this. We can join, and I can select. Ooh, I think all this can be merged at last here. You know what? This part I'm going to Alt S. Right, and what this will enable me to do is select this and then sharpen those edges. But it's not working. I don't know why. I'm going to try that again. Alt S, make it thinner. Oh, so there's something here. I'm going to turn off sub D, and the thing that is here is that this part is not a chord, so I can join that. And let's just do that again. Let's do that again. I'm looking at this. It's different from what I'm thinking actually. So I think this loop can go. And what this is doing is something like this. Like you can select this and kind of extrude along the mouse like so. I don't think that's it. What if I select, let me undo down to this point. Dissolve vertex. What if I select this and Alt S? Alt S. But I don't want to bevel. Like beveling will make it work, but beveling is just going to reduce my chances of selecting this entire loop. Let me try. Oh, so let's say we have that and I bevel this. You see? Can't do anything with that, bro. But what if I bevel and I kind of clean up? Because I don't mind this shape. Like this shape is working a little bit for me. But what if I can, let's see, turn off sub D, kind of have a solution for what's going on here. Yeah. So what if this 3 comes to 1 and then we have a chord by removing this and we have a diamond on this like that. Yeah. And then similar things happen with this. Merge all at last, remove this edge and roll that into a diamond. But then we have an issue right here. Can we merge this to at last? Let's see. I do not think so because this already looking messed up. Maybe I can GG. Yeah. So let me do that again. I think there's another way that I should be able to resolve this. Thinking of adding a loop. If I add a loop down here, will I be able to? Dissolve edge. Bruh, there's a way to do this thing. Oh. There's definitely a way. You know what? Undo all the way back down here. So if undone to this place, can we? I'm going to dissolve those edges. I'm going to create a cut down here. So what is going to help me do is GG, and we can start reducing the amount of loop that hits this edge right here. So this and this I can dissolve, this and this I can dissolve. So I've dropped one, and then right here I can GG, and then we'll drop another with J. So with this, no longer have a straight line here, but I think I can just move this in here. Let's see how this will bevel. Bevels nicely, but then do we have a good shape here? Nope, we don't. Ooh, this is tough. What if I take this and direct it like so? And then this, I'll dissolve this edge. How is that looking crazy? Come on, merge this to this point and then dissolve this edge. Okay, that's better. Yep. Hmm. Think. How can I turn that? Man. Oh, it's better. I didn't. Okay, no, it's not. But I think the the sub D is actually making it work better. In all honesty. Okay. So I'm going to set why? Okay, this is working. So I'm going to select. Oh, I need to select this flow. But now maybe I can have to connect this. So selecting the entire flow. Okay. Sweet. So it looks like I'm going to isolate this. It looks like I'm supposed to connect this. Oh my god. Can I delete face and then use a grid fill? Nope. This is going to be headache. I'm going to use the knife tool to complete that. Let's cast the alley hard line. GG and so you see this entire set. It's already forming a weird geometry here. So I'm just going to select all of it and then space it out. Oh, it's even going to be covered, so there's no need. You can continue forming the weird geometry that you want to form. So let's select. Select, 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 select. Bevel. One, two, three. Turn on. Ooh, bad topo. Bad topo, yo. So let's do that again. This is just, you know what? See this loop right here? I'm going to redirect it to go like so. Okay. So this, I'm going to dissolve. Level to have a good selection here now. Ah, but they will still have one that stands on its own, bro. I think that can stand on its own, Jerry. Let's see how this reacts. Oh, still a mess. Can select this middle and then extrude along the mouse. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Oh, Jesus. So I'm going to go back in and reselect the lines that we need. This is selected. This is selected all the way through to here. This is selected all the way through to here. This is selected all the way through to here. Oh, whoa. To here. Hmm. Mm-mm. There's an issue. I'm going to take all of this down. One, two, one, two. Dissolve edge. Okay. One, two. Space. I think this also should be spaced. Okay. Add a smoother curvature. But the thing with this now is that if I select this, I won't be able to. Oh, man, I'm beveling properly. Oh. I won't even lie to you. This thing is beveling properly like mad. Okay. Let's see. Ouch. This is better. This is better. GG. That's cool. That's looking good. This light's down here. I'm going to make that light. Oh, I want to bring in a loop right here. Just to make that part tighter. Then I can select this face. Insert. SX. SX. SY. And SY. So that's cool. This one I can scale this down SX. And I'll bring to the spots. GZ. Select both and scale. Then, how I think this is going to work is, I think I'll just borrow from this and not exactly have it like disturb the mesh per se. So I'm just going to copy this basically, and I can undo all of that destructive things that was done earlier. So I can paste, hold up to this side, hold up to this side. I can select bevel, select all. You know what? I'm going to apply scale. Select all. Extrude. Yeah. I'll extrude properly. And then I can insert, extrude inward, duplicate that, select that, then extrude all of these out. Can remove this edge so that I can add this bevel down here, and then maybe one more like this. But this time around, want to round off these edges. That's cool. Ah, you know what? Maybe I'll just do it like this. Alt, no. Alt S. Yeah. So right here, I'll bring color to this point, and then I think I'm going to bring in a cube. SX, rotates. Can right click this shade smooth, right click this shade smooth. Think we have some screws here too, so we have to add the screws. Cylinder, rotate to view, scale down. I don't know what kind of screws these are, but I'm just going to do something. GY, shade auto smooth. Um, this is cool. Scale Shift DX. That's fire actually. I'm going to do the handle. Handle looks like something like this. So I'm going to just again do the same thing I did in the other time. Still geometry, Shift D, separate that selection. I can copy this and undo all of that loop abuse that just happened. V, tie this up here. This is an interesting one because it seems as though I might have to bring in those loops that I just abused. So I can select this, bring in a support right here, select this. I can insert one more time, duplicate that, select this, and with this I can extrude this outward, right? All of this selected, I would insert, right? Select these faces and GY, select all GY, just a smidge. So, man, it's looking like this handle is going to be hard to handle. So I can do something like this. Can add this, I can select these faces, yeah, and then extrude. But let me do manifold, extrusion. Then this can also be extruded so that these two can be bridged. Yeah. So I think proportion wise things look a bit off. These two I will see. First of all, right click, shade auto smooth, and then add a little bit of no, not bevel. Maybe I can just add in another level of subd. That's cool. I can bring this here, bring this here, and I think this entire part right here I can GX like so. Okay. SC0, SC0. Oh, no, 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 no. We're not going to do that. We ain't finna do that. Nice. I'll bring this right here and just, I'll bring a cylinder. It doesn't have to be like madly detailed, just something there. I think this container is a bit jacked up. GG. Seems we need to add some of that. So this handle, yeah, I don't know. Not sure about the handle actually. It's a little bit weird. frame selected. Can I bevel this? Nope, I can't. Bruh. Or what if, does it work? Okay, that's good. I think I can do this window right here. Maybe I just want to bring in some random colors. So maybe this window right here, I just want to select this, come to the front. I would ES, yeah, GZ, SX, and maybe I can GY, Alt S on this a little bit like so. Yeah, that's cool. These parts right here, we can sharpen up with this. That's cool. Oh, okay. If we add in a second level, that's cool. Holds up. So I can select this, Shift D, and turn that into a window by, let's do grid fill, and then maybe just a little bit of thickness. No, I'm not in thickness. That's fine. So that window's done. Then next window to work on is this right here. I can ES this, G this into position like so. Yeah, and then this I would, can I open S? Um, can I select all of this, sharpen those, and then still have a loop in here to support that? Yeah, looking good. I'll shift D this, separate that selection, and we have second window rigged and seems ready to go. Okay, I'm having fun here, but I'm a little bit tired and I still have some work to do. So let me see what time it is. I think 2:30. I say 2:30. 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's where I'm going to cap this out. There's this detail, right? What's this? Like this page is weird. Turn off sub D. Could it be because can I dissolve this edge and not have any problem? Ooh, that's too much. GG. GG. All right. That's fire. Oh, okay. I think this needs support loops actually, but maybe I can create an offset from this instead of messing up. Yeah, looks like I can. Yeah. Offsets to the rescue. I want to do this thing right here, whatever this is. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to come to the side. I think I'm going to bring in cursor to this point. Bring in a cube, scale down G, SX. What it's looking like to me is here selected, here selected, here selected, here selected. So all of this added, I can GY, shade, auto smooth, come to this side, scale down, GX. So on this face, I bring cursor to this point and I can bring in a cylinder, scale down, SC, GC, ES, and I can scale and extrude this up top. And don't know what that scene looks like, but let me see. Man, what it looks, oh no, it's not it. Man, I don't know what to make of this thing actually. But I'm going to bring in the cylinder right here, scale that down, and GY a little. This can I select this bevel, extrude along normals, and then cursor to this point. I'll bring in a cube that's going to be scaled down, SZ, GY, GX to the side like so. So this I'm going to GY. I think what I can do also in order to make this work visually is see how I can join both. So let me just isolate this SY. This is here. This is right here. So this face is going to be deleted and the in-betweens are going to be like 5. Right? I can join and then L on this SC. Delete faces. Let's see if this connects. It connects, so probably want to separate bolts. And then let's try to connect again. Bridge. Perfect. So I can shade auto smooth, select this or all the way round to this point. Can I round that off? Or instead of doing that, can I use a non-destructive method of bevel to just send something across the entire surface? Cool. So this looks about right. Something else that I think is missing is maybe bevel right here. Uh, bevel. Cool. Shade auto smooth. What's going on here like this? Hmm. There's something weird going on here. Okay. A level of sub is kind of low. So that's done. Do I want to do the mirrors first? Yeah, I'm thinking of that actually. Because this looks like a low hanging fruit. So mirrors, I'm going to bring cursor to this point. I'm going to bring cube, but I'm going to collapse all of that to the center. And I can extrude, extrude, extrude. Oh. Bro. Okay, okay, okay. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I got distracted right there. When I said 1:30, I'll be off. Now it's like 2:30. I mean, now it's like 1 for something. So let me just do the glass and I'll be done for this one. Extrude, extrude, extrude. But on the top view, it's going to be like not straight as this. It's going to be literally curved from this point. So I'm going to turn from active and scale up. So that's cool. Right around here, I'll bring cursor to this point. I'll bring in a cube, scale down, SZ, GZ. Yeah. So this you can convert to a curve. Add a sub D, bring in geometry and just increase that. This has to go here. I think this our SY a little bit. Then, it's going to be tricky to model actually. Hmm. Man, this mirror is tricky actually. Extrude along. This I can merge at last, and then I don't think it's bevel that will work. I'm going to let me do a subdivision first. Sub the mirror to the other side. Apply mirror. I need to resolve all of this. So in order to resolve this, I'm thinking one on this side, one on this side, maybe three on this side. So we can join this, join this, join, and join. So all of this can flip, apply that mirror. Right here, we can add this to J, J. Apply mirror. Um, right here, right here, we also do this. This is essentially my design. Like, this is nothing close to the reference that I'm seeing right here. Something like my spin on that actually. Measure last, measure last. And why this happens sometimes is like you can't just see the reference really clearly. And you just have to just kind of make something, you know? That's what we're designers. Make shit up that doesn't exist. Right here, that's cool. I can come in here. I wonder how I'm going to get that mirror to look with all of these many cuts in here where I can just set a little bit, bring this in, duplicate that, separate that, and extrude this outward. So with this, I can scale down GZ, Shift D, and Z. Yeah, and then right here, I can GZ. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Cool. I'm cool with all I've done right now. It's like a solid 2 hour stream, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I actually enjoyed myself, but we still have a long way to go with this, and catch you guys tomorrow, man. So that is about it, guys. So long, and until I see you guys in the next one, it's peace.